Hello friends, Mandar here. I'm back with another video. Today we are going to talk about travel outside the United States when your I-485 or adjustment of status is pending. There are a couple of options how you can travel, whether you have a visa or whether you have advance parole. And there are certain risks and some things to note that I'm going to discuss in this video. So if you are interested in this topic, watch this video until the end and let's get started. If you are here for the first time, welcome. My name is Mandar and I make immigration related videos for US and Canada. I'm not an immigration lawyer, so anything that I say on this video or on my channel is for information purpose only. For your specific immigration needs, you should hire a competent immigration attorney. And as always, if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. And now let's get started. So this video is part of the series that I'm making for adjustment of status or green card's final stage. I'm making videos that will focus on different aspects of this adjustment of status application and go into the details about each of these topics that will give you some clarity on some of the questions that my viewers are having. So this time we are talking about the travel outside the United States while your adjustment of status application is pending. So say for instance you have applied for 485 because your priority date is current. Now there are two things that can happen. Either your priority date can remain current throughout the process or it may retrogress. Depending on the scenario, you may be looking at either 1 year of wait or several years of wait. That will impact your travel plans outside of United States. Now let's be real. During all these years, there will be an instance where you will need to travel outside of the United States for whatever reasons. There could be a family emergency or you could have some work that you need to complete. The first rule of thumb that everybody will tell you is that do not travel while your application for adjustment of status is pending. And that's understandable. Considering the difficulties that immigrants are having and so many things can go wrong, it's always good to avoid travel altogether. But that may not be possible always. It clearly states on the USCIS website that you will need to take certain actions if you want to travel outside of the United States while your application is pending. So let's quickly look at that and then we'll continue through our discussion going through several different scenarios. Now this is the website for USCIS and the section is while your green card application is pending with USCIS. So as you go down on this page, there is a small paragraph that I wanted you to look at. If you need to leave the United States temporarily while your form I-485 is pending, please see the instructions for Form I-131 application for travel document. Generally, if you have a pending Form I-485 and you leave the United States without the advance parole document, you will have abandoned your application. This is one. I just wanted you to be aware what is the underlying premise of USCIS. Now on this another website of USCIS, it clearly gives you 4 different options for traveling outside of the United States while your application is pending. And one of them is advance parole. And this is the one that we are going to focus on in this video. The advance parole allows you to travel back into the United States without applying for a visa. A transportation company can accept your advance parole document instead of a visa as a proof that you are authorized to travel to the United States. An advance parole document does not replace your passport. Now, one more thing, Form I-485, if you depart the US while your Form I-485 is pending without first obtaining advance parole, USCIS will deny your case unless you fit into a narrow exception of people with certain non-immigrant status. Okay, so I just wanted to get it out there just so that you are clear on what is the expectation of USCIS for you if you were to travel outside the United States while your application is pending. Now, as I said, it is best to not travel while your application is pending. But in the real world scenario, while you are waiting for your pending adjustment of status for several years, that may not be possible. There will be instances where you will have to travel. Now let's look at what and when your advance parole can be applied. As a rule of thumb, when you apply for your I-485, you can also apply for EAD, which is I-765 and advanced payroll, which is I-131. These two applications are free of cost as of now if you apply them along with your I-485 application. So the first time application fee is waived. So there is no reason why you shouldn't apply for EAD and advanced payroll card along with your I-485 application because it's free. Now whether or not you want to use it, that's the second question that we are going to look at. Say for instance, your priority date is current throughout your application process. You may not even need to renew your EAD and AP application after your first one is issued. So say for instance, your priority date is current throughout and you get your green card within a year or year and a half. During this time, you will get your EAD card and AP card, and that will last you throughout the process. So you will not need to renew it again when you will need to pay the fees the second time. So that will be saved. But in another scenario, if your priority date retrogresses, then you are looking at several years of wait time until your green card is processed. In this case, your first time EAD and AP card, which is a combo card, will be free of cost. Your subsequent applications for renewal of EAD and AP card are going to cost you extra fees. Now your EAD and AP card typically arrives after 3 to 6, but recently there has been a change that the Congress has approved the expansion of premium processing and included EAD as part of the premium processing. So now you may be able to apply for EAD with premium processing. The fees are around $1,500, but you can guarantee to get your EAD within 30 days. So if that's an option, you may get your EAD within 30 days. And again, if you apply for EAD and advanced payroll together, you get a combo card, which is the same EAD card will have a note at the bottom, which will say this will also serve as travel document. Now many people are confused about maintaining your H-1B status versus EAD, and I have tried to clear that confusion in my previous video where I focus on EADs during adjustment of status. But let me iterate. EAD and H-1B are two parallel things. You can maintain your H-1B or L-1 status, which is non-immigrant status, throughout your final stage of green card. And let me be clear, if you have a valid H-1B stamp or a L-1 stamp on your passport, yes, you can go outside the United States and return on H-1B or L-1B without impacting your status for 485. Now this is very unique, and this is specifically with H-1B and L-1. Now in this scenario, you will make sure that your stamp is valid for at least 6 months before coming back into the United States. If your stamp is expiring, that will put you in a risk. Another risk of going and coming back on your non-immigrant H-1B or L-1 status is that is not going to guarantee you entry into the United States. It will depend on how well you have maintained your non-immigrant status while you are in the United States. If your employment is current, if your end client is current, and all those things and all those risks that go along with a non-immigrant visa. So the same level of risk as you would go on a non-immigrant visa and coming back. It will not impact your I-485 application. On the other side, if you have applied for EAD and advanced payroll document along with your I-485, make sure that you get those combo card in hand before you travel outside the United States. If you travel outside the United States before you receive the combo card and come back on non-immigrant H1 or L1 status, you will abandon your application for advanced payroll. Your I-485 application will still remain intact, but your advanced may be stopped. So if you have applied for a combo card, EAD and AP, make sure you get it in hand before you leave. While coming back, if you already have a H1 or L1 visa stamp on your passport, you have a choice. You can come back with your H1 stamp or L1 stamp and maintain your non-immigrant status back into the country. If you choose to use EAD, then you don't show your H1 or L1 stamp to the visa officer, just show them the combo card. Now when you show your combo card, which is advanced payroll card, there is a secondary inspection that happens. The way you enter into the US is based on a parole. This parole allows you to enter into the United States without a visa, specifically for a reason to complete your adjustment of status process. So from that point onwards, you do not maintain your H1 or L1 status in the United States. You enter as a parolee. Now you can work with your employer using your EAD card. So you'll need to refill your I-9 form with your employer and give them the copy of your EAD card. Here you formally are on EAD, not your non-immigrant status. So that is the difference. So you can come back either on your valid H1 or L1 stamp and maintain your non-immigrant status and just not use your EAD, which is fine. Or you can come back on EAD by presenting your advance parole, which is the same card, to the visa officer, and then you can start using your EAD card for your employment. The advantage of EAD card is that you can change job as you please. EAD card will give you the flexibility to work for any employer after you return back to the United States. But I still think that even if you are maintaining your H1 or L1 status while your adjustment of status application is pending, you still want to wait until your combo card is in your hand and then leave United States and come back. This is because you don't want to put any of your applications in trouble, because one thing is for certain, your non-immigrant status visa or EAD is no guarantee that you will be able to allowed entry back into the United States. So you want to take every possible measure to make sure that all of your applications are in progress and not abandoned. So technically, yes, you can return back on your H1 or L1 visa, or you can use your EAD card to come back. But in either case, make sure that you have it in your hand before leaving the United States. Make sure you discuss your situation with the lawyer, because not all H1 or L1 cases are the same. If your case or if your employment is such that you are working at a third party client, and even if you have a valid H1B stamp, there could be trouble coming back. So I hope I cleared out some of the questions that you had in mind about whether to use H1B or L1 stamp while returning to the United States, or whether you should use your EAD and advance payroll combo card. So there are pros and cons of both, and I hope I was able to resolve them for you. So if you like this video, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll see you in the next one.